Computer. Okay, we're rolling. So, what's up, guys? This is Gabe from GFit Performance Online Coaching. Thank you for watching my YouTube podcast, GFit Performance Talks. I think it's going to be episode 3 or 4. It's been a minute since I uploaded anything. So, that being said, my special guest today is Danny Terrell. What's up, Danny?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you? And Danny's a graduated client. This is his last month. He's graduating with me. He's been working with me 2 years now. Not straight through. We did about a year straight. He had a couple months off for a slight ankle injury, non-related to lifting. And then he came right back and was able to find his stride again pretty quickly, where he gained a little bit of weight back, but then he made the jump into even better shape than he ever was before after that, because of muscle memory and all that. And we'll get into that later. So after 2 years of working with me, Danny is now currently deadlifting. What's your best deadlift? 405 for a triple?
405 for a triple, yeah.
Perfect. And then your squat, did we get the 365 yet?
No, I think we hit 325, 335.
335, good. For a single or double?
That was single.
Single. And then we're focusing on incline bench press, only because I believe when someone's very overweight or starts off as overweight, especially for men, you want to lift the chest. You don't have the saggy appearance. It's better to build a bigger upper chest, and then maybe we could always focus on flat bench later. So we're incline benching 225, I think, for close to 10, right? Are we 6, 8 reps or something like that?
6.
Great, man.
Yep.
So those are not numbers to sneeze at, okay? Any average guy that goes to the gym to work out, I mean, they want to bench 225, they want to deadlift 405 or more. So you're getting into I'd say top 5% of people for strength even when it comes to gym goers, right? Like only 10%, only something like 10 to 15% of people actually go to the gym to work out, and of those people, only 5% to 10% are get to the numbers that you're hitting. So congratulations, man. I'm really proud of you. It's awesome. You should be proud of yourself. That's no easy feat. And it only happens with diligence, consistency, and discipline, right? This isn't something that you go to the gym every couple of days and see what you can do. Like, there was a plan in place. You followed the plan. You followed the nutrition. You followed the strength training. And that's how we got you to you are, man. So I'm happy for you, bro. I'm proud of you. You couldn't have done a better job. So that's enough of me talking. Let's take it away. I'll let you take it away. I want you to start from the beginning. Before you ever started working with me, how heavy were you at your heaviest? And then you said to make a change. What are the things that you did for yourself? And then when did you first get stuck? And then I'll kind of jump back in to yeah, go ahead.
So I started back in November of 2019. I was at 320, 325 pounds. I was eating out all the time. My go-tos were probably McDonald's and Taco Bell 5 to 6 nights.
Wow, 5 to 6 nights.
Yeah, and very, very non-active at all. And then it was about February of March, the next year, 2020, I started walking. I didn't want to be 320 pounds for the rest of my life.
So real quick, at 320, were you going to the doctor? Were you getting health checkups, anything like that, blood work? Were you checking your blood pressure or cholesterol?
No, I couldn't imagine what it would have been if I'd done.
Yeah, you were probably heading into scary territory. So
yeah, and just carrying around that weight all the time, like my back was dead every day. My feet hurt at the end of the day because I was still working a physical job, 10 hours a day, and it was just brutal on my body.
10 hours a day on your feet.
Yeah, like
I love that, because it's like people always say, "Oh, I have an active job." So what? Like, you were on your feet 10 hours a day and you were still overweight and not healthy at all. So it just goes to show you, diet is one of the, if not the biggest component. And at this point, you're not strength training or doing any cardio, because you're just not living that lifestyle yet.
No, and back then it was like I would go home and I'd sit down on my ass and not do anything. And it was just it wasn't a good thing to do. I would watch TV as much as possible. My depression was skyrocketing. Anxiety was terrible, and I just wasn't living a good life. I was going to die at a young age if I didn't make any changes. And so it was about March that year. I started walking, trying to watch
March of what year?
2020.
So a year after, so you lived a whole year at your physical worst.
Mhm.
And at that point, you could tell your mental health is getting worse every day. So basically waking up with feelings of dread, like, what am I doing? I'm wasting away, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's like at that point I didn't even want to wake up every day. It was like I
Wow.
have to get a day of carrying around all this weight and feeling sorry for myself, and not knowing what to do to even get started and losing any weight. And I was always pretty big as a kid, but I
Yeah.
didn't know it was going to get that much,
Right.
in such little time. I was 25, 24, and I
Wow.
was 100 pounds. So
That's
it,
young to be that heavy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I started walking. I would probably walk 4 miles a day. Uh,
So first of all, good for you to decide I have to be proactive, do something on my own. Normally, most people don't even get to that point. Most people just continue to go further down the rabbit hole and hit 400 and 500 pounds. So commend you for that. That's incredible. But what was like the snap? Like, yo, if I don't do something, I'm gonna die, or I'm just, I'm gonna be depressed my whole life. What was there a particular moment, or you just thought about it every day and you're like, screw this, I'm just gonna like, do you remember I guarantee you remember the first time you went for that first walk. Do you remember that day or that moment? You have to.
oh my gosh, dude, I was in so much pain, and my body just hurt. Um, I was in so much pain. I was in tears and feeling sorry for myself, saying, "Why did I let myself get this far?" Um, and and I guess I was kind of proud of myself at that moment because I knew, um, that was what I needed. I needed that to finally get over the hump of, hey, I can actually do this. Um, and then it was just every day I would walk 4 miles a day, endless cardio. I mean, when we first talked, I was doing cardio every day for
A lot.
probably a day.
Wait, so I missed that. I missed the part. So how did you finally decide to at least go for walks? What was the
Well,
decision?
I had tried losing weight before, but it just never worked. Um, and then there was one day I went to walk up a flight of stairs, and I almost had a panic attack because I couldn't breathe.
That's the
And
moment. Yeah.
that was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Um,
How many flights? One or two flights of stairs, not a lot, right?
one,
One flight of stairs. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think when I first started talking to you, I told you I was walking every day, probably 1 or 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
um,
7 days.
3, 4, yeah, and it just I
We go
got
out.
tired.
So we going outside on a treadmill?
It was all outside. It was
Yeah.
at a park that we have
That's
here
good.
in.
Good. That's good. I like outdoor cardio a lot better. So that's good. So you did that for a while and you lost some good weight doing that. Did you change diet at all that point, or was it just the walking every day?
So I did it a little bit differently. I started drinking more water, um, doing that, and then I would do walking. I didn't really start changing my diet until a few months in, and I had lost about 30 pounds doing that.
So
Uh,
30 pounds from walking every day, drinking
mhm.
more water, but still no real change to diet. So we're still talking McDonald's and Taco Bell as a
Yep,
go-to dinner. Okay.
all profits, all.
Literally one step at a time, which is, I mean, it worked though. That's good. So how did you know to start drinking more water, right? Some people don't even get that far. How did you figure that out?
Um, the amount of sugar that's in like sweet tea or any of this stuff, you don't realize like how much sugar is truly in there. Like people think, oh, 15 grams, that's not bad. Well, it's terrible for you. It
Mhm.
goes straight to your gut, it goes straight to your face.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's not like it's 15 grams sugar from a banana or fruit, right? Because that's attached to vitamins and minerals and nutrients and fiber. Like
yeah,
this is just pure liquid sucrose. And and most of the time it's worse. It's high fructose corn syrup, which studies have already shown that 50 grams of high fructose corn syrup is worse for you than 50 grams of just standard carbs from fruit or rice, because the high fructose corn syrup spikes your insulin and it goes straight to your liver. It bypasses everything else, and it's so demanding on the liver cannot process it fast enough. So then it forces your liver to pump out triglycerides in an effort to try and dissipate all the high fructose corn syrup. So that leads to high cholesterol. So high cholesterol doesn't come from eating a high fat, a saturated fat, or a high cholesterol diet like in eggs and stuff, which is a myth. It comes from these processed foods that are loaded with high fructose corn syrup. So you kind of instinctively, so something was telling you that this can't be right, so you had that feeling. So that's good that you started switching to water and cleaning your system out with water to help you detox. So all right, so you did that for like 3 months, lost 30 pounds, and then you decide, okay, we need to change now the Taco Bell and what was the other one, the Taco Bell and the McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm partial to Wendy's myself, but I probably have Wendy's like 4 times a year. You know what I mean? It's like very rare now when I do it. So how did you know to start changing that?
I was like, well, I'm at a plateau here. I'm not losing any more weight. I'm just kind of standing still. My
How
body
long did
doesn't.
you plateau for?
It was about 3 or 4 weeks. Where I was literally the same weight
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
your body brought you to as far as it can adapt to that change, right?
ex-
So
exactly.
whereas the average person might say, "Oh, well, it's all genetics. Like I can't do. Why does my friend get to eat McDonald's and Taco Bell and be skinny, and I'm fat? It's all genetics."
Yeah.
No, like that person, just because they're skinny doesn't mean they're healthy. Skinny people get type 2 diabetes, skinny people get high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and they could die of a heart attack just the same as a fat person. Okay. So that is not a marker of health, right? Now, this is going off on a tangent. Those skinny people that eat junk food all the time, I don't know if you call them lucky or not, and I'll tell you why. Because it has a lot to do with your gut microbiome, and they have certain gut bacteria in the microbiome that can actually process junk food just as good as or as efficiently as normal whole food. So I guess you can call them like it's rare, but it happens, right? So they have like super gut bacteria that can just crush calories, right? And so it keeps them skinny, but it still doesn't negate the health effects, the negative health effects, right? So you look at it that way. The way I look at it is your body's alarm systems work better than the skinny people that eat McDonald's and Taco Bell all the time. You know what I mean? Because your body's telling you, bro, I'm sick, something's wrong. Whereas skinny people, the skinny person will think, I'm fine, I'm not fat. Like, no, like you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
uh, it's a double-edged sword for those people that are always thin no matter what. Like they can still become very unhealthy. So I just wanted to kind of briefly mention that so people out there who are listening can become aware of the fact that your gut microbiome, your gut bacteria has a lot to do with how many calories you can eat and not gain fat. So, but go ahead.
So at that point, I changed my diet. I was not eating breakfast. I thought that would the less calories I eat, the healthier I'll get.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, easier it'll be for me to lose weight if I'm more calories than I'm eating in. Um, I shouldn't have any problem, and so I would skip breakfast. I
Which
would
is what
drink
everyone does. Everyone starts to skip breakfast. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
and I would bring my water. I would have about 3 or 4 ounces of chicken for lunch.
Whoa.
Um,
That's crazy little.
yeah, and no snacks throughout the day. I would eat that 3 4 ounces of chicken every day, and then I'd wait till dinner.
So far you've had 120 calories for the day, just so you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and I would have green beans, um, and some more chicken, maybe 5 6 ounces for dinner, and that is all I would eat every day. I was
So
severely
180, 120, 300, maybe another 30 calories from the veggies, 330. That's it?
That's all I would eat for the day. I was severely under eating.
How long did that last? You're not even having fats at this point.
Yeah, so that was about I want to say about 4 months, and I was hungry all the time.
You did that
Any
every day for 4 months.
Yeah, I did. Um,
You have mental fortitude. The average person can, they wouldn't have lasted a week doing that. That's
I
insane.
so hungry all the time. So anytime I would get those hunger cravings, I would just drink water. Um,
Which works
and
to an extent, but
yeah,
you did crash your metabolism doing that. So so what were the effects of that? How much weight did you lose? Did you continue to lose weight, or you just still were at a standstill?
so I got down to about 240, 245.
Yeah.
Um, and then at that point, I stopped again.
So we went from 325. You lost 30 pounds to 295, just checking the water, and then you probably lost another 50 pounds starving yourself.
Yeah,
But I guarantee you half of that was muscle mass. So
yeah.
we're not looking tremendously better. At least we're not huge, right? But you're still soft and flabby.
I was a very, very skinny fat. And I wouldn't even say I was really skinny. I was just kind of like pudgy.
Hmm.
Uh, I wasn't like super overweight, but I was pudgy.
Yeah.
And there was no muscle there. Any muscle that I had was almost completely gone. Um,
Did you feel incredibly weak? Right.
I did all the time.
How was your energy trying to get out of bed in the mornings?
Oh, it was terrible. It was like uh, I felt the same that I did 80
At
pounds
325. Yeah.
because I had no strength to walk every day. Granted, I wasn't 325 pounds, but I didn't. I was carrying around
It
200.
felt the same because you lost a respective amount of muscle. So
Yeah,
relatively speaking, it felt the same. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so at that point, I had seen your page several times, and I just kind of
Okay.
clicked right.
So that's right around the time you just happened to randomly see me on Instagram. So what was
Yep,
this? Yeah, 2021 at this point, we're probably getting to, right? Yeah.
yep, right around there. It was about April, um, and I was still living with my parents at that point. And I was talking to my mom. I was like, "Mom, I see this guy on Instagram. He's a weightlifter, um, but he's an online coach, and he makes meal plans and all this." Um, and I said, "It's about I think it was 250 a month at
Yeah,
that
that
time."
was the weight at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Do you think that's a good deal? Am I going to get scammed out of this?" And so, because it just seemed too
I
good to be.
love hearing this is the first time I've heard that side of the story, and I love hearing that because I get it, man. It's like I believe everything on the internet's a scam. So like to trust me, like it takes a lot, man. So I thank you for that. I appreciate that because it takes a lot, especially with your weight and your health and like like in your mental health too. Because if you get scammed once, you're like, so
Yep.
you're gonna believe everyone's a liar. But go ahead and continue.
And so I'd seen your page, and I saw you had those free workouts where you people just kind of are able to see what you're
I
doing from.
remember I got to get back into that. I remember that I would post free workouts all the time, and it works, man. People were getting results just from the free workouts.
Yeah, yeah. And so I went back and forth on that for about 3 to 4 weeks. Uh,
So
and then
you did the free workouts for 3 to 4 weeks.
yeah, very minimal. But I was doing it maybe once or twice a week. I'm like, I'll see what happens. And at that point I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go book a call.
Hmm.
And so I booked the call. Um,
Wait, did you? So when you did the free workouts, were you getting sore the next day? Do you
I
re-
was super,
yeah,
my body was like, what are you doing to me?
yeah,
Uh,
because you're
and
still starving yourself at this point too.
yeah, I wasn't eating anywhere near what I should have been.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you
and
know
so
were there any physical changes in those like 3 to 4 weeks from the free workouts?
um, I wouldn't say really any
Yeah,
because
you just
I
weren't.
wasn't food, I wasn't getting enough rest. I still wasn't even drinking enough water, honestly. I was drinking maybe half a gallon a day.
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, I was losing a little bit, but it wasn't near what it should have been. And so after I gave you that call, um, and I finally made the decision to put myself first, put my health first. Um, it felt so good. This has been such a blessing to me. You have been a blessing to me, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. It's
Thank
just crazy.
Thank you, man. That's awesome. It's clients like you that remind me why I do this. I mean, because sometimes you get the clients that just they take me like the service for granted, and they just start like barking orders, and it's like, whoa, like this is we need to talk first. We need to figure out what's going on with your day. We need to know, you know what I mean? Like it's a two-way street. Like I need to know about you and your life before I can start helping you. So, but yeah, man, you're that you did the work. You were patient, and you eager, like you genuinely wanted to learn, right? I remember that was the number one thing that you
Yeah,
did. It was like you would ask questions in a way that was like, please teach me, and it was like versus like just demanding results. Like it's been 2 weeks. Like why isn't it working? You know, you get people like that who get angry. You know, so I want to get back. So we did the call. Um, what was like the one thing that made you decide, okay, you know what, I need to do this. I need to finally hire someone or hire Gabe in particular. Do you remember anything about the call?
I remember the call. You were very genuine. You seemed like you really wanted to help me. I had told you everything that I've done, um, and you were genuinely concerned that I was ruining my metabolism, my body, and you seemed like you really wanted to help. And that was the first time anybody had offered that initiative, like, hey, you need help.
Yeah.
I think that's what I needed. I needed somebody help me hold myself accountable. I needed that, and you were there from the start.
All right. Thank you, man. Um, so what was like the biggest culture shock? So let's say, all right, you signed up, and I sent you your plan. I sent you the food, right? You know, you went from eating 330 calories straight away to like 2,000 calories, probably. And you're eating, I mean, we'll get in, I don't want to jump ahead, but you're definitely eating more now than you were
Yeah.
then, right? Which was probably confusing to you. It's like, how's my food going up and I'm getting in better shape? So but tell me about that. Like, what was the biggest shock to you? Was it really hard? Like getting over the fear of eating too much? Because that's the fear with the average person. Like, I'm going to get fat eating all this food again, right? So walk me through
Yeah.
that process.
So the night that you sent me the plan, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna eat this much food in a day." That happened. I had breakfast, I had a snack it, and then right before lunch. Then I had lunch. Then I had a snack
So
after
you
that.
you did eat your breakfast the first day.
Yeah,
You did.
yeah, that was at
Or
5 a.m.
full? 5 a.m. You were full after breakfast?
Oh yeah, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna eat my snack at 9 o'clock. That's not happening."
Did
And
you get
so
hungry? You got hungry at night?
I was hungry. Um, I ate that snack at 9 that very first day, and then I had my lunch. Um, and then the snack after that, I was like, "Oh man, how am I going to eat dinner?"
Yeah.
And so dinner comes around, and I'm like, "How am I hungry?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eating all this food all day. There's no way I'm still hungry."
Yeah.
Uh, and then I had my dinner. Of course, that was after my strength training for the day.
Right.
Um, so I was able to replenish all of my muscle fibers.
Muscle
That
glycogen with, yeah, your muscle fibers with glycogen. Yeah, you're learning, bro. You're getting there.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then
Almost sound exactly like me now. We clone my knowledge onto you. Go ahead.
absolutely. And then I had that bedtime meal, and I'm like, why am I eating right before bed? I thought it was bad to eat before bed,
Right.
uh, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll trust the process. And so I wake up the next day, and my stomach is just growling.
Starving,
Last
right? Yeah, yeah, that's great.
4 days, and I was just astonished at how much food my body actually needed to repair itself. And most people don't realize that. Myself was included in that. People don't realize you need food to fuel your body.
Yeah. If we're really, without spending too much time on that, let's break it down. I mean, you have all your organs, right? How many organs are there in the human body? I don't know off the top of my head, but let's take just all of the major ones, right? Your heart, your
Yeah,
lung, your liver, your kidney, your pancreas, which makes the insulin, your kidneys, which filters your body, so does your liver, things like that. Uh, and then you have your eyes, mouth, nose, and ears, right? All your sensory organs. And then you have all your glands that make all your hormones. So it's like right off the top of our heads, we can think of like 10 to 15 or 20 organs that are constantly working around the clock 24/7 to keep you alive. And people think they're going to eat a chicken salad for lunch and that's it, right? It's crazy to me.
for the
So,
day too. I
for the
mean,
day, yeah. So it's yeah, you need a lot of nutrition to fuel the body properly. Because the first thing your body's going to do when you're not getting enough nutrients is waste muscle, and not waste it, but catabolize it. It's going to eat away at its own muscle mass just for pure survival, because it has to keep your organs intact because that's what's keeping you alive, right? That's the defense mechanism. So That's what happens to the average person. That's what not average person. That's what happens to everybody. If you don't eat enough calories, your body will eat away at muscle mass first, and once the muscle mass deteriorates, you put on fat easier and quicker because you don't have muscle mass burning calories or storing glycogen. So if you can't store your glycogen, what does your body do? Converts it into fatty acids to store it as fat. And this is that process that no one talks about, no one's being taught. You didn't know it, not your fault. It's just no one, doctors don't teach you this. Forget the mainstream media, they're not going to teach you that, right? So um but once you start to saw that, once you started to seeing that happening in real life on your own body, it started to make more sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy the changes I had, and I believe in the first 6 months, um, I lost about 40 pounds. I was in the best shape I could have ever imagined.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah, so it was, what were you when you started with me? Let's get into the numbers again. When we started, you were 245.
I think I was two. I think I might have about 239 and a half.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And then you got to uh
After months, I got to 201 was my lowest.
yeah, the that initial drop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see if I can pull that up. Keep talking. Then once I pull it up, I'm gonna share screen so we can
yeah.
record. Well, yes.
So,
So tell me about that first. Yeah, so your first let's say your first nice initial drop happened how quickly?
oh man, so I was losing weight left and right. I think I lost that 40 pounds in the 6 months. I think I was losing 3 to 4 pounds a week,
Quick.
while gaining muscle. Um, and that was just astonishing to me.
And it
And
was, yeah, so yeah, let's talk about what that looked like logistically. So you, what happened with the cardio? I told you were doing way too much cardio, right?
absolutely,
We cut that back to what? How many days a week?
3 days a week, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
20 minutes, right? That probably scared you, right? You're like, bro, it's not enough, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was training for probably 60 to 90 minutes every session, 4 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And
60 to 90 minutes training workouts 4 to 5 days a week. Yep.
and
But
so I
you went every week. I don't think you ever missed a week in the gym. I don't. At the
I
most, maybe you'd miss one day every now and then because of whatever life happens.
yeah,
But you had that consistency, man. So I give you that. So let me. Yeah, I'm gonna share screen here. See if we can get that to record. I hope it's being recorded right now. It's my first time doing this on Zoom, but
I
uh,
can see it
it's a,
right
you
here.
can see it. Yeah, it's a learning process. So yeah, so 239.4, right on the money. May 21st, 2001. And then your lowest. Hold on, let me move this. Uh, right. Your lowest is 201. Yep. So 38 pounds. So 40 pounds. Yeah, close enough. And then this is where we kind of hit that first plateau. We kind of hovered in the low 200s, right? And then
And then I broke.
April, right? And then that's right around when you broke your ankle. Or what happened to your ankle?
So I broke my foot in two spots. Had a high ankle sprain, and I sprained my deltoid ligament, all in the same accident.
Bike riding accident?
No, I was actually playing softball.
Thanks, all.
Uh, it had rained, and I jumped into a puddle, and I felt my ankle snap or my foot snap, uh, and that put me down for 2 months, 3 months.
And real quick for everybody watching and listening, in case they can't see the graph, that initial 40-pound drop was not 6 months. It was May 21st to October 10th. So
Oh,
June,
less than 5.
October 5. Yeah, a little less than 5, so 4.5. So it was quick. It was very good. Full quick. Then you maintained. And I'm gonna just give a quick explanation. The reason this maintenance process happened here is like this is like a weird gray area. Like when you're growing your hair out, it's just gonna look weird. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
anything's happening, right? So, but what's really happening internally here is your body's readjusting all your hormones. You're readjusting your hypothalamus, your pituitary, your thyroid, all these things that are responsible for your hormone output. It's you're resetting the thermostat. Your body's now recalibrating itself so that your normal resting weight is in the low 200s. So if you were to like stop working out and only eat when hungry, right? Set point theory, then your body will maintain this. This became your new maintenance, your new homeostasis, right? That's the word. And it takes the body time to do that. This is where most people again get upset, discouraged, fall off. They think they hit a wall. They think there's a genetic limit because it could take months to do that. It could take months to reset hormones in the body, right? Because it takes 60 to 90 days for your cells to turn over, replicate. So that's why it takes that long. So a lot of people will give up. They start shitting the bed, excuse my language, but they'll start eating junk food again. They'll stop working out, right? They just swing back to self-destructive behavior and they get back to their old self because it's really easier to relapse, get back to your old self than it is to maintain the new self. But you stuck to it, you didn't give up, and you were able to maintain the new self. And then all the while this is happening, you're still slowly building muscle. You were still getting stronger at the gym, but you're building muscle at a rate that you're losing fat around the same rate. So that's that the weight covers and stays the same. So that's the explanation there. And then now, so this is when you took your little break. It was a short break. It wasn't even that long. I thought it was like 2 months. So from like May to June, so you took a 1 month break, then you came back. And then this is when we had our really nice breakthrough. We had our second breakthrough. You broke through the wall, and now you're just turning into a unit, right? You're officially a unit now. You have more muscle than fat, right? So you crossed over the precipice. You're more muscular than fat now. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
No,
Amazing.
no,
Freaking love
not
it.
not when I was 325 pounds,
Yeah.
couldn't walk a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Um,
So you went from I'm gonna give it away, and then I'll let you tell the story. So you went from 223. So this is now June of last year. Started at 223. We gained some weight back because you were out of the gym for a whole month, unable to work out because of the injury. Slowly came back. So from 223, your weight started coming back down again. And then now, I don't know. Yeah, 189, man. You are 189.2. Congratulations. I don't know. What's your weight today? Did you weigh yourself this morning or over this?
Morning, but I'll probably weigh again on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. I didn't even see this last because you just checked in. So this recent check-in.
Yep.
I'm hoping this is getting recorded. Your pictures here. Your legs are huge and solid. Back is huge. Arms is huge, and chest is squaring out nicely now, man. So, and if just in case this is being recorded, let's go to those very first pictures. When was the last time? When was the last time you looked at your very first pictures?
Dude, it's been a few months.
You're not even gonna recognize yourself.
I remember one thing. My posture was absurd and terrible.
Yeah.
My back was bent over like I had a hunchback. My gut was farther out than my head.
Yeah. Everything that could be wrong was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had arm muscle. I had no leg muscle.
Let me see here. Yeah, because you were just doing the cardio starvation diet, which is the go-to. All right, this is wow. Look at it, bro. You were skinny,
I know.
skinny and fat.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Even I forgot. Hold on. Uh, that's crazy, and it's so crazy that you look skinny and thin here, but pudgy and soft. And you still weighed more. You
Yeah.
still weighed more than what you weigh now, and now you look like a unit. So it's
Yeah.
like that's the power of muscle. Um, Build muscle to burn fat. Here you're getting the back was starting. Your back responded fast, man. Your back started to get good right away.
I saw that picture and I was so happy. I started
Yeah.
having for the first time ever. There it is right there.
Yeah. We're finally getting close to the beginning. I don't know why I'm just gonna do this little by little. Here we go. So yeah, so look at this from the side, hunched over, huge gut, just, thin, lanky arms, no real tone to the back at all. And this is you at 239. Do you remember this guy? You remember what it feels like?
Oh, I don't ever want to go back there. I will never be back there.
Good, man. That's what I love to hear. And you have the tools now, you have the knowledge. You never will. All right. So I clicked on that. Let's do a quick side profile. Let's move this down here. Go back up. Hopefully, I really hope this is getting recorded. I'll say, holy, bro, your chest is huge. What? This is my first. I haven't done this lineup yet. You look at your chest compared to before.
It's out. And
It's out there, bro. It's like a shelf now. You can put a bottle of water.
I've always wanted to be able to do that. So
Look at that. Look at that. Stomach flat, arms are jacked. Chest is just massive upper chest, dude. No more sag, right? No more man boobs. Those are gone. You have traps. You have posture. You're standing like a man. Standing like a man, dude. And you earned it. You earned that freaking manhood, dude. That's freaking awesome. Good stuff. You gotta. You should start like printing these out and framing them, and then every year, just do it every year. Just keep framing them every year, and then because you're. Did you even turn 30 yet? How old are you now?
no, I'm 27 right now.
What is that, bro? Sky's the limit for you. By 35, you'll be in the best shape of your life. 35, I want you chiseled. The next step for you is just chiseled with abs. Like you need to look like a physique god. You know what I mean? That's the next step.
Absolutely. I'm gonna start doing that now.
You can do it, man. You can do it. All right, let's do one more. Let's do the front wide as ever in a good way. Right? You build that muscle.
Yeah.
There we go. So let's go down here.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't believe you're 189 compared to 240.
Yeah.
You look twice as huge.
Yeah.
You have more space and you're 40 pounds lighter. Like,
It's crazy, man. Like I never would have thought.
look at that. Wow. Gut completely gone. Massive legs. That's where, yeah, bro. Legs are good. Legs are strong. Broad, wide chest is squaring out nicely now.
Wow.
And then now, see, now you can start picking apart your pictures and looking at what body parts to bring up. You're finally hitting that phase where it's like, okay, what are the body parts now I want to bring up and give extra attention in detail to? So,
Man, I'll tell you what, even after I broke my foot, I don't know if I think I might have told you this, but after I broke my foot, I had severe PTSD thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to want to squat again.
right. That's natural, a little bit of fear.
I squat in 135 before I broke that.
That's all you were doing before you broke the foot?
I'm pretty sure it was 135.
Yeah.
And after that, it just kind of blew up. My legs got massive after I broke my foot, which is not
Interesting.
something I thought would have happened.
Yeah, maybe you needed this is your superhero story, right? Like every mutant before their mutant powers, I don't know if you're a Marvel geek. I like X-Men and Marvel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Like right before, like you need that traumatic experience for your superpowers to come to
Yeah.
fruition. And that's what happened here, man. So great stuff, dude. Well, that's incredible. Yeah, man. I'm dead serious. You got to start printing those out,
Yeah,
framing
yeah.
them. That'll be a great. And then you got to show your kids that one day. You know what I mean? And you got to show everybody that one day. That's awesome, dude. So okay, so yeah, let's pick back up where you broke the foot, it healed. You were scared that you're never going to be able to train legs hard and heavy again, but the exact opposite happened. So just walk us through the last 5 to 6 months. Like how fast is your strength been coming up now?
Oh man, so I think after we did like a little phase where after I broke my foot, we did like a um, form check
Mm,
uh, to see where my form was after that, after I broke my foot, and
yeah.
um, it took a couple of weeks um, to get that form back to where I needed it to be to start training heavy again. Um, and I think after I finally got that form back, it was the numbers blew up. I was lifting twice as heavy within a month or two. And that was for I think 8 reps or whatever.
You know what I think. You know what I think really did it was the fact that you were scared about the injury. That you took the time to really hone in on your form. Right? You became extra careful about it. And when you do that, when you really perfect the form and you feel the muscle doing the work, rather versus just trying to lift the weight, right? Would you say that's fair that you became more conscious of the muscle, feeling it do the work, right, with every rep?
Absolutely. I think before the injury, form really wasn't a thing for me. I was just trying to get the weight up.
Yep.
And so after that, I was like, okay, I really need to focus on my form here, make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want something else to happen. So I think it was a blessing in disguise for me.
Yep.
Uh, And it really, like you said, made me hone in on my form, make sure I had it perfected before I started going heavier and heavier. And so I think that really helped me in the long run.
Absolutely, man. So that's the secret, right? Everyone's always talking about the secret. All these freaking social media gurus want to talk about secrets. There is no secret. The real, the real way to build muscle as fast as possible is to lift as heavy as you can while feeling the muscle doing the work, right? So you're incorporating mind muscle connection with elements of powerlifting. Like we're having you deadlift, we're having you squat, we're having you bench press, and we want you to get as strong as possible. But it's not just about explosiveness and get the weight from point A to point B. That's great for Olympic weightlifters and powerlifters. Good for them; they get very strong and big doing so. But you really had this explosion of muscle growth in the past 4 to 5 months because you became so focused on flexing the muscle, squeezing it, and feeling it burn with every rep,
Mhm.
while handling at the same time as much weight as you can handle doing it in that way. Right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah. It's just crazy to me. Never would have thought.
That's awesome, man. So, all right, tell us what's in the future for Danny. I know you and I are going to officially part ways, maybe for good, maybe for a little while, but I know we're always going to be in touch and we're going to be good friends after this, man. So, uh,
Absolutely, man.
where do you think you want to take this? How, right? Because I know you ever think about getting certified as a personal trainer or getting nutrition, getting you can get certified in nutrition. Like, is there anything you want to do to continue your self education on this? Like, tell me what's on your mind.
I really, based on my past, under eating, not eating the correct foods, not
That's
knowing what.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Starting out eating fast food, processed food, all this 5, 6 days a week, and then to under eating and not eating enough to now eating enough. I really want to further myself on nutrition, certify myself in nutrition, so that way um, I can help other people not do what I did
Yeah,
and make those same mistakes. That's one thing I really do want to do.
that's great, man. So, yeah, I don't know if I've seen any books yet, but offline, once we get off the Zoom call, I'll definitely send you a bunch of the books that helped me, become as educated as I have been.
Mhm.
The books I'm currently reading now, and then what I was going to say is the one thing I forgot to touch upon that I want to touch on before we get off and sign off here is as we progressed, you did notice that whenever we had like a meal plan update or change, I would slowly increase your portions. Do you remember that happening?
I do.
Do you
And
like were you getting like would you get nervous or scared? Like walk me through that. Like how was that when we were
no, I was actually excited because I know for a while I was like, man, I'm still kind of hungry.
Mm,
Um, like I've already had my meal. Can't eat anything else.
yeah,
And I was like, well, I wonder if maybe we're at the point where we can up my portions a little bit because I'm still getting hungry.
yeah,
Um, my body's wanting more food for fuel, and so I was actually super excited once we upped my portions.
awesome.
Um, and the food is just phenomenal.
Well,
It
yeah, that was my follow-up question. So tell me your diet now. What are your main, what's your typical diet look like now? What are your mainstays? Like what are the actual food items that we have you eating?
So for breakfast, I do my egg whites, I do my eggs, I do a bowl of
Doing some
oatmeal.
whole eggs. You're doing the whole eggs with the egg whites, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and then the oatmeal I have. If I don't do those in the morning, I'll switch it up sometimes, and I'll have a banana, and then I'll have my protein shake. And then for my 9 a.m. snack or whatever, I'll have some tuna, and then some organic mild salsa to go with it.
Mm.
That'll keep me full till lunch. And then for lunch, I do about 8 ounces of chicken. If I don't do the chicken, I do
That's a 3 to 4. You get almost triple your 3 ounce
all
portion, right? You're at 8 now.
hungry after the 8 ounces. And so if I don't do the chicken, I'll do a couple cod and stuff like that. And then for dinner, I'll do. I really like the grass-fed ground beef. That's been a big staple for me. I'll mix that in with my rice,
Yeah.
and I'll have that. And that's
Ground beef and rice is
oh, dude,
bodybuilders go to. It's a great meal.
oh, dude, that's one of my favorites.
And
And
you
so
like that? because I know. I mean, it's just red meat is the option, right? But you like going to the ground beef a lot, right? Because you could do
I,
a steak, you could do venison, you could do anything that's basically grass-fed or pasture-raised red meat. Because I know we've given you a lot of different options, but right now you're really leaning towards the grass-fed ground beef. Must have been your
I,
favorite. Have
I
you tried bison yet? Have you tried the bison?
Oh, I want to though.
You could do the
I
bison, same portion size. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
But I was doing steak. I believe in the first 6 months, I was doing the steak and rice.
Yep.
And I love steak. Steak is just amazing. I wanted to switch it up, so
Yeah.
and I over to the ground beef. And ground beef, you can make hamburger patties out of it. You can do mix it together with your rice. There's just so many different ways you can cook it.
Yeah.
Uh,
What I was gonna say, not a big salmon guy because I know that was an option for you
I
too.
love
You
to.
like salmon?
I always try and switch it up as much as I can. That way, I don't get burnt out on one food.
Yep.
So,
And then what's been your favorite? Like, I mean, listen, veggies aren't that important. And people, when people hear me say that, they always get confused. They're just a filler. There's just some vitamins and minerals in veggies, but you can get them from fruit as well. And your red meats. Red meats are loaded with nutrients. But have you had any favorite veggies that you stick to?
not really. I never was a big veggie guy,
Yeah.
uh, but I do love my fruits.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Good stuff. And then did you gravitate towards any of the fermented foods? Were you big on that, like the sauerkrauts or kimchi's or pickles?
No, the sauerkraut made me want to throw up.
You didn't like it? That's funny.
I'm not a big sauerkraut
All
guy,
right, fair enough.
and so I kind of weasel away from that one. I did try it though, so
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of other fermented foods out there. I know you do. I think we put Greek yogurt or cottage cheese on your plan at a certain
oh yeah,
point. Yeah, so
yep.
that's fermented. You get some probiotic in there. That's great, man. So you're eating plenty of food now. You got plenty of variety. You got white meat, you got red meat, you got dark meat, you got eggs, you got rice. I know you could uh you're doing your fruits, so sugar's not fruit is not bad for you, right? It's when it's just sugar in like a can of soda that's bad for you, right? You're learning the difference, so that's good. Awesome, man. And then yeah, what are your plans for the future? Besides learning nutrition, anything like that? Do you ever want to think about powerlifting? Are you going to take this any further? You're just going to keep lifting for yourself for now and see what develops, or because you're pretty strong at a 189 deadlifting for 05. I think you may have a powerlifting future if you start taking this really seriously. That's just my 2 cents.
That
How
would be
do you feel about that?
that would be ideal. That would be something I'd enjoy. I think because I love being in the gym. It's my happy place, and it's just a good anxiety killer,
Mm,
if that makes sense. And
100%.
I love it 100%.
Bro, if I don't go to the gym more than 2 or 3 days, I have anxiety up the
Yeah,
wazoo. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I want to further my education on powerlifting and being able to lift more heavy.
Mm,
Uh, now that's all I'm focused on. And
good,
yeah,
man. Yeah. Don't forget your volume training and squeezing the muscle, right? Because you're going to be the powerlifter that looks good too, right? You're not just going to be this big, blocky mass.
yep, yep.
Awesome,
But
dude. All right.
I
So, go ahead.
I can't thank you enough for these last 2 years, all the knowledge that you've um, given me and the guidance that I truly needed. Um, you, I say it all the time, but you've been a huge blessing to me, and I appreciate you more than you know.
I thank you, man. I do understand. I appreciate it. Um, because I was never a 300 pound guy, but I recognized at a very young age, 14, 15, that I was becoming fat and overweight and I didn't like it. I definitely would have been on that route because I was 14 eating junk food every day. I was doing Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, the whole nine. And I was eating more than my parents already at that point, and I was just gaining weight every year. And then I don't know, for whatever reason, God decided, nope, like you're gonna figure this out real soon, and fitness is gonna be your path. And I believe God gave me this passion for it, and I had to learn a little bit of the pain first before I can help people. And I think that's what helps me truly want to help, right, and truly understand what you went through, man. So I'm really glad we connected, dude. I'm really glad we worked together. I'm happy for you and proud of you. You could always reach out with any questions, bro. Even if you're not a paying client, you're always a client. Just remember that.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that, and I'm so glad that your online coaching has just lifted off these last few years. Because I mean, you were working a desk job at one point, weren't you?
Yeah, full time. I was hustling, man. I was 40, 50 hours full time in office. And then I was on the weekend, Friday night through Sunday, doing all the plans for all my clients and just trying to get this thing off the ground. And I finally did. So thank you.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy for you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, brother. So any last words or recommendations for people out there watching?
Book the call.
Yes. I was hoping you say, I hope he says the line.
Oh, I
That's
got
all.
you.
Thank you, man. Yes, guys, please book the call. You can shoot me an email at gforperformance@gmail.com or follow me at gforperformance on Instagram. DM me there or just click the link in my bio to fill out the form and book the call. If you want to DM Danny, confirm this story checks out and he's not a paid actor, right? Danny is not a paid actor. What's your Instagram, Danny? You can reach out to him there.
Danny Terrell Music.
Spell it out for me. So it's at DT.
DANNY
Okay,
TRRELL Music MUSIC.
great. So I'll put all those links in the description of the video. And I'll also put the link to click the form to fill out the call. It'll all be down there. But Danny, man, it's been a pleasure. I took up enough of your time. And I know we're gonna be in touch. We still got like 1 or 2 weeks left to check in. So enjoy the rest of your day, brother. I'm proud of you once again. And never let anybody tell you that you didn't earn this, because 5 years from now, you're gonna get haters who don't know your story. And you set them straight. You'd be like, oh yeah, boom, and then you show them the freaking pictures. All right, print those out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. Have a good day, man. Take care.
You do, and I appreciate you.